Alright, let's turn on the webcam. Turn off the starting thing. And let's do subtitles. I played the original Stanley Parable, yes. I hope I know what I'm getting into. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. This makes me nervous. Okay, that's gone completely. I can make out the keyboard, but not the monitor. Okay, I think that's okay. I have no idea if you people can see it on your end. Okay. It is 7 p.m. Okay, I'm off by a minute. Okay, accessibility settings can be accessed from the main menu. Settings. Field. Gameplay, audio. Let's lower. This is the elevator music. Just so that we got the narrator a little bit louder than anything else. Video. I don't even know what anti-aliasing is. Okay. Oops. Hang on, I swapped left and right there. No, I didn't. Let's start this. Let's get this started. The end is never the end is never the end. All right, what's different from the first one?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
All right.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year.
That's actually not a bad job.
Others might have considered it soul-rending. Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
I can think of worse jobs.
Stanley was happy.
As long as it pays enough.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
A narrator appeared.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
It took you almost an hour to realize.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, mouse to look around. Is the clock The clock actually is moving. Okay, nothing happens if I click on the clock. Can't. Or the phone. I hate Mondays. Very true. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Everyone hates Mondays.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Pencil sharpener!
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference. Nor did it advance the story in any way.
Does that say who farted? I wonder, can I pick up a pencil and sharpen it? No. This does seem to be a lot higher resolution. Hang on, what does that mug say? Number 1 dad. I need to turn off your computer, number 1 dad. Alright, I think I've screwed up something in the settings because it won't let me go right. Settings. Controls. Oh, there's more controls. Okay. That is not D on my keyboard. A-O. That is U on my keyboard. Okay, game. What are you having an issue with? Well, guess I'm going to be using QWERTY controls for everything. Which means if I have to type, I'll be fumbling quite a bit because I use an alternate keyboard layout. There we go, that's better. Alright, gonna change one more thing just because it's more comfortable for me. If I crouch, left shift. Do I need left shift for anything else? Nope. Goodbye, computer. Be my Valentine. Another Who Farted mug. The improved graphics are definitely nice. Another Who Farted mug. Surname access. Something about accessing a turn. tips to something. I can't rank it. You tell me what's the something of the something something on. Well, it's off now. I'm sorry, what does that mug say? Can I get another angle on that mug? Climb up on a chair or something? Oh, F-U-E. Fuel. A little more G-rated than I was anticipating there, gotta admit. You hate Mondays, yes. Why do you have your coffee cup on a chair?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Darn it, I can't turn that computer off. It is a tiny bit creepy being in a building with no one else in here.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Whoa!
Hey, Ica. Have you played the Stanley Parable before?
Yes.
I played the original before,
really
but
worth it
there's
being
a
here
new...
in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
They have an
Really
ultra
worth it.
deluxe version, and I don't know what makes it ultra deluxe, and I want to find out. Besides, I mean, the graphics are
At
good.
this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
I did play the original. The broom closet ending was my favorite. I know there are probably endings I didn't get, but...
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Alright, that's probably the last thing I'll hear in here. You can't tell me that this doesn't look like it's supposed to be vulgar. Okay, look at that mug. You have to actually scroll around it to see more than the first 2 letters. And that vague hint of a third. Coffee nut, that's a new mug. I can't have any coffee.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Caution, do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. Danger. Vent access for trained employees only. Climb at your own risk. Where's the vent? Where's the vent? Danger. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5,000. And death. Loading dock B. Maybe if I could get down there, I could get out through that.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
I don't want
Give me
to.
a chance.
I don't want to. Danger. Danger everywhere. Well, I didn't die, but I don't know about the fine yet. All right. Where am I going? Warning, do not stand on this side of fence. You don't tell me what to do. Warning, no buckets past this point? What's wrong with buckets? Oh.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay. We'll do things your way.
Thank God you are willing to listen to me. You see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time. The
Nope.
problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier
sorry?
if we just stopped.
I'm sorry?
And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
I don't have a choice, do I? Okay. I'm scared.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
I don't know where I am. I'm regretting my choice to walk away from the light. Oh, there's the light. Oh. Are there stars through there? Are you taking me to a planetarium?
Here, yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
This is kind of trippy. Do I stay here and achieve Zen? Is that what's going on? The blob in the center is forming a head of some form. I can't tell what sort of shape it's supposed to... Oh. So, green lights. This is really trippy. This is really... Ooh, and now there are red lights. And pink lights. Splatoon. I'm a dork. This actually is really pretty. I'm probably not supposed to stay here, but you know... Supposed to. I kind of want this as a screensaver. I don't even have a screensaver. Where did the green lights go? Why are all the lights red and pink now? What happened to Marie? I mean, I can see a door, but... Okay, is that the end of the red and pink lights? I think that's the end of the red and pink lights. They're gonna get smaller and smaller and then disappear. Right, right. First a vague flower-like shape. Whoa! What the? Okay, I'm happy I stayed here for a while. This is... Why did you take me into the firework room? The psychedelic, trippy firework room. Am I supposed to be getting this much enjoyment out of it? Probably not. I think I might fall asleep if I stay here too much longer, but I also am dead... I'm really curious what'll happen if I stay. What's after the squares? This is what it takes for the narrator to be happy. Okay, but I'm yawning. I should get out of here. Watching them fall into the abyss is kind of nerve-wracking for some reason. Oh, that's pretty. I am way too easily distracted. Okay.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Narrator, I want to play the game. I love looking at the pretty lights too, but... But the room with the weird dominoes on the walls is also intriguing. You don't have to come with me, narrator. You can stay there.
Oh no! Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Wait, so the only options are to stay...
Good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
I'm not achievement hunting, so I will not stay here. But I feel like this is one of those places where if you just stay for 4 hours, you will get a freaky achievement and you
No! What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here.
I'm free.
You are going to stay here, aren't you?
I'm sorry, narrator.
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die! What about this isn't getting through to you?
Maybe I don't fear death, narrator. At least not in the game.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Maybe if I had an option other than Stairway to Death or Black Room of Lights.
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
I'm just seeing how many dialogue options I can get. Okay, I've thought about it. Let's go. And whoop!
No!
Ow.
Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
No. Oh, I'm moving a lot slower now.
No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
Sheer curiosity.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
I'm moving a lot slower now.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
But just staying in one spot isn't happiness either, narrator. I'm moving much slower now.
No, perhaps not.
Are they going to seriously make me jump off a staircase a third time?
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
Oh!
That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy.
Sure seems
Am I
that
reading
way.
the situation correctly? <sighs> 'Cause 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 ' maybe you're just
How many
getting a kick
times do I
out of
have
it.
to do this?
I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I broke the narrator's heart. I broke a narrator's heart. I'm sorry, narrator. But I want to actually play the game, and this is clearly an ending, and I'm sorry.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Yep. F1? Oh. All right.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never
I
been
closed the
trained for that.
door, dude.
No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years
Does
gone
Stanley
by?
not need to
He
eat?
no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Look, they left their Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Fine.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to resolve a dispute with a coworker. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Slick blue graphic in the header throws a bevel on all text. This will ensure a calm and productive work environment. Everyone is unique. You most of all. I've actually seen that poster or something similar enough. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, charts and slides. What do people want? Things, money, more money. Graphs about things and money. What is hot? Profits, 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 profits. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Boss appreciation specialist. Wow, this is a great place to work. No. No, it's not. They spelled yourself wrong. Your dreams for the future are mitosis? Comatose? Less air? Bi-quarterly post-review. We need less reviews. Wait. 402 and 405 want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary review schedule. Charts need to be more hip to appeal to teenage demographic. Find teenagers to put in teenage demographic. Maybe we should use a big net. Wait. Better safe than profits. Do not alter or without consulting whiteboard manager. Rip Franz? Who's Franz? Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items, write the next day's agenda, and reflect. Future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Target's coffee machine. Not cost efficient to get standardized graphics. Get Chris out of the broom closet! Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. Hire someone to fire... You're the paper synergized guy. Who moved my desk? To do synergize core value expenditures, shift global market parent, whatever. Monetize free to play. Help, I'm a post-it.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
It's a nice broom
he wasn't
closet.
Even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
I miss the broom closet. The broom closet is my favorite place to be in this game, okay? You have your room with the lights, and I have the broom closet.
Broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I honestly wonder how this came to be a thing. Who came up with this?
You do realize there's no choice or anything in it.
And how it was
If
tested.
I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
If like they
I never would
gave
have thought to mention it.
the narrator a script and said whenever the person deviates from the script, make something up that seems
Maybe to
appropriate.
you, this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Like they just had whoever voices the narrator just with a script of what was
Stanley
supposed to
was fat
happen.
and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
And that when the person came in there, they're like, "Why did you even go in here? I didn't even mention it." And
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going
everything
on right
else,
now.
just the narrator
You're
or the
dead.
person doing the voice
You
acting,
got to
just
this
trying to
broom
figure it
closet,
out.
Explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical melody of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
You know, that would be.
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway. Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Executive bathroom. Dirty mirror. Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes, if the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Why are you threatening that poor panda? That's the business strategy? It just said Stanley. How long is this elevator ride? Will I ever actually get anywhere? I don't think so. Okay. I am the most expensive boss. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number. 2845.
You won't
But of
let me
course,
play the piano.
Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Also, all the books look very fake. And this office has a fireplace? I think this office is bigger than my apartment.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 8, 4, 5. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in.
I don't want
and
an
the door
emergency
just opened
override.
all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Well, this seems ominous. Am I walking? I'm walking into a wall. I pressed up! Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Because he's bored
This
on an
question
elevator
would not
ride.
go unanswered for long. Whoops. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I've never done that before. I didn't know that was an option.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated.
Well, you don't have
It's
to be
that
sarcastic.
keen eye for storytelling that you have. An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
Look, I'm not convinced that's the only combination. I'm at least going all the way through the 111s. That was the initial combination. And this is it backwards. Okay, why is this lit up? It is really suspicious that that is lit up. It had to do a loading screen for me to come back here.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again.
Well, you won't let
Ladies
me
and
leave the
gentlemen,
office.
How does he keep coming up with all of this?
You won't let me leave the office, so what else am I supposed to do?
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he?
No.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me. Oh my God. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
What? What? What?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
I've broken the narrator. Nunnery's just reached new limits of sarcasm.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
When I heard the scary music, I actually thought something was going to happen for a second, but no, it was just the narrator being a smart aleck.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it?
Well, you
I
won't
mean,
let me
sure,
leave the
now
room
it's
any other
obvious, but you have
way.
to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is.
There's
a
a-
breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
There's a reason his job is just pressing the buttons he is told to press, okay? Stanley doesn't make good decisions.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Nope. Nothing this time? Nothing?
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want
God.
big, explosive moments flung right in their faces.
I'm
from the
regretting
very
my
moment the thing gets
choices.
started. But where's the tension?
I'm
Where's
regretting
the
my
trust
choices.
in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we
scared.
given time to imagine the surprises?
Please don't be a
To
jump
have to
scare.
think and to anticipate.
Please
and then
don't
to
be a jump
marvel at
scare.
the eventual reveal. This is
Please don't be a
storytelling,
jump
Stanley.
scare.
What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why... Oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you.
I'm sorry, what?
So that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your
What?
life. Yes, I know you're not much for the
What?
public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They
What off
really
this
look up to
elevator?
you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them.
Help!
This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
Help!
Oh, good, we're here.
This isn't the boss's office! I was not anticipating.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
All eyes on Stanley live on stage. World's healthiest human being, all tricks revealed. How we did it at the pyramids, live, the guy who went to Mars. I would like to run away. I did not anticipate this. An evening with world peace, baby?
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
Stanley Parable, Stanley tonight live on stage. The man, the process, the myth, the legend, the parable. Stanley from the Stanley Parable tonight live on stage. A Q&A with the world's... Woo! Hi, babe. A Q&A with the world's first sentient machine. Okay. I was honestly not anticipating doing anything but trolling the narrator here. Doing great. A conversation with Alexander the Great.
All right, are you ready?
No!
I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative.
Narrator.
Don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart.
Narrator.
I'm really proud of you, Stanley.
I got on the
Okay,
same
it looks like
elevator
they're ready
6
for you.
times.
Go get 'em.
Trying to see if there would be anything different. I do not want to speak before a crowd. Stanley Ryder, almonds, chair, gum, table, nut bar. Oh, God. Break a leg, champ, your boss. Me and David, age 6. Thanks for showing that cool skateboard trick in the parking lot. You are too cool. Good luck on stage. Rock on. Break a leg again. I love the way you ride elevator. You want to tell stories the way you do? Go get 'em, Tiger. Stanley, my true love for you grows every day. You make me feel alive. You're white from the apartment tending. This wallpaper looks like eyes. It's, Up again, down again, the Stanley story. An audience with the dude who came up with pizza. Hang on, what's that one about the Lord? The Lord meet and greet? Okay. Woo! Hi. What? 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 What just happened? What just happened? Pape, this is the Stanley Parable, the Ultra Deluxe version. I played the basic version, and I don't know if that was a new ending for the Ultra Deluxe version or if it was just one I never found. But the basic idea of the story is you are employee 427. Your job is to press buttons on a computer as you are told to. And one day, you, or Stanley rather, realizes that there has been literally nothing for him to do for about an hour, and none of his coworkers are around. And then it's entirely up to you.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I like work. I just hate my boss. Fair enough.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
There are two characters. There's Stanley, who is you, and there's the narrator. The narrator is done with me. So done with my crud. Absolutely done with my crud. Hello? Well, isn't this obvious?
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know, narrator, you tell me. I regret choices.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013
I should
on
not
home
have
computers.
jumped. Wait,
After receiving
really?
critical and commercial success,
Really?
it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
The new content door wasn't
This
there on my
sounds
previous
delightful.
endings.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Do I have a choice? Well,
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Okay.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Okay, narrator. Sheesh.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Why is this a thing? I can't jump anymore? Is that the entire reason why this game has a jump button? Is that the entire reason?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content?
In this game,
If this is
yes.
New content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
You and me both, narrator.
It? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Really?
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Okay. This... Is my office different? That looks like a different... I'm leaving the door into a different area. That's a new area. This looks different. This is the normal hallway. Why is there a picture of the normal... What?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
This seems like a terrible idea. You know what? We're doing it. Okay. Okay, I'm in a vent. I'm in a vent, guys. Why am I in a vent? I don't know.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Who gave the narrator this much power? Wait, I can go outdoors in this one?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
What?
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
A screenshot of the Steam page. The greatest wealth is memory. Shapes, exclusive Lenny Smith talk about his new box. Graphs. Indie Box Collector's Edition. This was an actual thing, wasn't it? Audience Award, the Stanley Parable. I can't believe they managed to make this into actual content. Of course I believe it. This is what this game does. Good times. Screenshots from various endings. Our first kiss, my first car, the release of the Stanley Parable in 2013. Wow. Narrator. That time is actually accurate. The Memory Zone temp. The original remake. Buy on Steam, watch on YouTube, what everyone's saying. Clips. Okay. We are playing the expansion, the Stanley Parable Alpha Test. A trip down memory lane. Stanley Parable official soundtrack. Bits of music from the Stanley Parable. The time is the year the game released, you say? Oh, it is. Dang it. Okay. The Stanley Parable demonstration. I remember playing that. Unachievable. It is impossible to get this achievement. That achievement on Steam, I actually remember reading about. Apparently, every time someone managed to achieve it, they disabled that way to get it. So every time someone figured out how to get the achievement, they disabled whatever way that was. The achievement, go outside, don't play for 5 years. There's also an achievement for playing it for the entirety of a Tuesday. Why a Tuesday? I don't know. British Academy of Film and Television Arts Development Team nominee for Game Innovation. Debut game. Oh, come on. Now you're just making crud up. New video game releasing today. Colleges show uneven effort to enroll poor. Costs hinder new tack to achieve diversity. Creators are... I remember that ending. That was the first... Whoa! Ree, hello! And thank you! Thank you so much. I don't know what's going on anymore. In loving memory, little Stanley. Oh! I'm sorry for your pet, game developers. I wasn't expecting an actual song. The game went from
and
me.
over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10
How did I
from
end up here?
Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
Dude.
It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Dude, I am literally playing your remake. Stop warning yourself. Up or down? Memory zone maintenance, which is currently locked. The original remake. They went all out on this ridiculousness. No two ways about it. People play games because of what they can do inside them, and your game is very good at letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
Oh, be quiet,
it just
narrator.
needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Narrator.
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before.
Yes, it's the maintenance
What's
section.
down here?
Well, cold drinks for one. Can I have one? No.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Really?
I haven't looked at these in years.
Really?
I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Really?
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Really? Yes.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
What?
I'm trying to make a serious
What?
work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I wonder if that's a real review I could find. Knowing them, it probably is. How's this for your trip down memory lane, narrator? Have the criticism now. If I get struck by lightning in the game, I will be supremely unhappy.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
Terse?
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
June 5th,
I feel
2016 at
like a
11:08
failure.
a.m.
Like I let these people down.
I wonder if they
Perhaps the
contacted
Stanley
those
Parable
people and asked if
isn't
they
quite
could
as
use them.
sterling as I always remembered.
They... Is that a... Are those... Okay, the edge of reality is dissolving. First I thought it was rats, but now I'm like, no, it's the edge of reality dissolving.
What's this one got to say?
Or water.
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that.
What?
If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered.
I'm afraid of offending
no more
you.
listening to me rambling on and on.
Also,
and
I'm
on.
kind of
No.
entertained.
The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more... Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of
I'm
self-absorption,
going to
it's
annoy
right
you.
at your fingertips to go... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe, I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley,
The plant is
it's been
dead.
a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same?
I
as
really
always?
want to touch
Doesn't
it
that feel
again.
like what we've already been doing? Me just
I'm torn
talking?
between wanting to
It isn't,
push it again
Stanley.
and
It
wanting
isn't
to
the same
see
at
what
all.
happens if I
It isn't
don't.
even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving.
You did?
It was the vessel I needed, Stanley.
I'm not
So
interested
now
in
come
being a
stop the
vessel.
story. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you
A
ever
year?
sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months.
Okay. Narrator? I killed him. I killed the narrator. Well. Is a smoke alarm out of battery? Yes, it is! And I can't reach it! Ah!
But they didn't understand the game
What?
was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires.
Yep. I lost him again. I lost him again.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Is he getting faster?
End is never the end, 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 is never
Narrator
the end,
broke.
is never the end, 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 is never.
This game is the Stanley Parable. This is the Ultra Deluxe version, where he went from ranting about how we didn't need an Ultra Deluxe version to reading some of the bad reviews people left and instituting a skip button and now to mute him. And now I think I've broken the narrator. Because the only characters are Stanley, which is me, and the narrator. We now have a leaking pipe. The plant is dead. The clock has fallen off the wall. All the lights have gone out. The fire alarm has run out of batteries. Hi! Can I leave the room yet? No? How much time is skipped every time I press that button? Anywhere from a couple of minutes to a year, apparently, but... this game is designed to screw with you. I found a new to me ending earlier today. I don't know if it was actually new or if it's just new to me. Well, the narrator's probably dead. I don't know what I was expecting, but this wasn't it. Are those screams? Okay, I still can't get out, so, well, now I can. What the ever-loving crud is this? let's walk towards the sun. So we've got a direction and orientation. Checking that I'm actually getting... Oh! Okay. That was an ending. I don't know what just happened. The actual plot of the game is that you are Stanley, your job is pressing buttons on a computer, and today there are none of your coworkers, no one else is in the office, and there have been no buttons for you to touch on the computer. So you're trying to find out why. And the narrator is...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
The narrator is
Stanley
theoretically
decided
guiding
to go
you.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Surname access. Well, it's off now. Whatever it was. New content? I just went through new content.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
I don't know if I trust you. We have a bot. Yandere One-chan. Wow, that is totally a bot name, too. If I do have a mod around here, would you destroy that? Otherwise, I'll do it whenever I get a break. Because I'd have to stop playing to do that, and I'm not willing to just yet. Okay, what's the new content? Okay, pausing this for a second. Over here. Dere. Ban. Alright, let us continue. So what is the new content? Narrator? What have you got for
You
me?
see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
And the narrator continues going, whee!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This
New
is
mug.
what fans have truly been asking for.
I don't think I've been asking for anything. Welcome, Investor Showcase.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future.
Narrator, do they just tell you to just start talking about things and see what happens?
Franchising potential.
They just tell you, okay, we want you to start talking about this and see what comes out and put that in the game. No actual script, just you being your lovely sarcastic self. Photos of painting K. Okay. Another new mug. Time to wake up. New, never underestimate coffee enjoyers who left their cup by a leather sofa that faces a blurry room. Never underestimate. Well, hello, Meta. Two. They're back. 2 doors. The classic choice. Don't talk to me before I've had my sequel. More TSP, more Stanley Parable. That's better the Stanley Parable. Paradigm shift leads to synergy, brick and mortar approach. The color red. 2 better than 1. Okay. Click to add speaker notes. Wait, that's the entire thing? Stanley Parable 2, Stanley Parable. Different logos and a thanks for attending my... Okay.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them.
No.
It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
No. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. Who took third marker? Me. Meeting plan. 9 o'clock scrum. Design pitch break. Pitch design number 2 chat. I saw the investor showcase. Sequels are good. Portal 2. Half-Life 2. Batman Arkham Asylum 2 City. Divinity Original Sin 2. Doom 2. Aladdin 2. Return of Jafar. Dark Souls 2. What is this game even doing? Okay. New features. No one is watching, narrator. I wonder if the narrator even realizes that he is the new content.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay, what do you have? The exclusive, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Hear your name in the game, okay.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Really?
So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
How do you know my
Isn't
name?
that wonderful?
How do you know my name? Road to the perfect button. Too big, too small, just right. Okay. Button.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really
I
simulate
want to
the full
role-play as
experience
Jim.
of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
I'm not Jim.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind,
Okay.
forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling
Jim is
in love
boring.
and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust.
Wow.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I don't want to be
If
Jim.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
I don't want to be Jim. Don't have a choice, huh? Fine. I'm not Jim, and I don't want to be Jim. Jim has been broken by the world.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush!
Is your
It
name
was
Jim,
you!
narrator?
The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Oh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal
Is your name Jim?
validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise,
No.
soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Darn it. Well, I guess I'm Jim now.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
Please, no screenshots. Whole new office. Red is the new orange. The new updated ray trace, more of the same, but in a good way. New feed. Infinite hole leads to a jump circle, reads the button that says the name of the player playing the game. Okay. Stanley Parable 2. Reassurance bucket?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well someday. Actually, no. Happy 12th birthday, stepniece? That is amazing.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Gee, thanks.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly.
Really?
But we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Free, new, and easy achievement. Okay. Free achievement, right? Will I actually get an achievement from this?
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
No, you promised me an achievement. Tease. Tease.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
There's the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well.
Wait, I'm only allowed
I suppose it can
30-something
just be a
jumps in
nice
the entire
decorative
game.
piece, then.
Collectibles.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Gee, thanks. As I walk closer and closer to the light. Okay, this is creepy. What the crud? Nope. Can I back away? I can't back away. No? Oh! Woo!
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Narrator, there is something wrong with you. I want to find the Stanley Parable reassurance bucket. So it should be... There's the easy achievement. So I want to go this away. Oh. Let's just leave. Maybe? I don't know. Oh, there's the infinite reassurance bucket. So what's the bucket? What's the bucket?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Where is it?
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms.
Can I have
And to
the
be
bucket?
honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body.
Not
In
really.
fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go
I
on
don't
and
want to
on.
be more attractive as a
All
person.
this and more await you in the
Can I
Stanley
chuck the bucket?
Parable 2.
I guess I'm just keeping the bucket forever now. This is my bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Oh, instead of the bucket that says your name, it's now the button that says Jim. Button that still isn't back.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Good job, narrator. You truly know how to video game. Settings world champion. Okay, I was in here already. What? Okay. Opening, rim, surrounding area, depth infinite. Hole entrance infinity. Infinite hole chart. Depth, hole, space, more hole, science, infinity, more, falling. It just keeps going, okay.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever.
Okay.
That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like.
Okay.
A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the
No,
top.
I'm good, thanks.
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later
Oh,
spectrum.
there's a bottom, isn't it? That's my inhaler alarm. I'm just ignoring it. I want to see the bottom. see the bottom.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever.
I'm alive!
Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I didn't say a
Why
word.
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
What if I'm not ready? What if I don't plan to be ready?
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you... Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
Yeah,
Did the hole seem even shorter to you
it
this
did.
time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did
That
before.
light circle is bigger.
Admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow, okay.
The hole is less deep every
I'm
time.
starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Happily.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Well, you won't let me put down the bucket, so I've got to have fun somehow.
Is the, teleport button not working?
No, it's not, and I can't
You sure?
jump.
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working
If I am
just a
stuck
moment
in a
ago. Try it
2-foot
again.
deep hole.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
What?
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked.
You're leaving me
It's a
here?
win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
We will. Why's the music? What the? What? What? What is this? What is this? I don't. I like this music actually.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up the space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no.
Okay, let's change my. What? 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 Okay, let's try J. Let's try J. Let's try J. I don't know what's going on. What? Oh, I like this one.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
Ah!
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of
Oh,
dozed
come
off
on!
there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley.
Come
Because
on!
this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of
Oh,
it.
come on! I
You
was
don't want
having
to miss a
fun!
single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Really? Oh. Okay, that was an ending. No, it wasn't an ending. What?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Well, I've already got a bucket that you won't let me put down. I'm really tempted to go back in the hole. Alright, so all my choices are still made from last time. Hole! You won't let me back in the hole. Okay, it's been over 10 minutes and I haven't taken my inhaler because I am too fascinated. That really says something about me. I'm not sure what it says, but I know it says something. I really should stop playing and run an ad and take my inhaler. Oh, it's now labeled the mostly infinite hole. How do you get to be a settings world champion? Oh, that's actually useful. Video. Controls. General. Well, there wasn't a setting to become the settings champion, so... Okay, I've seen the jump circle, the map, the achievement, the button, the merchandise, settings world champion that I can't get into, the bucket, the decorations, epilogue, collectibles. I've seen it. Okay. But I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to run some ads and I'm actually going to take my inhaler. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, air conditioner on because it's getting kind of toasty. Let's turn off the BRB. And says there's about 30 seconds before non-subscribers can see anything, so... Well, let's continue anyway. It's not like I won't dilly-dally and stare at everything. Okay. Possible map designs. They're all just mirrored, half in gray, half in red.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
I think I've seen everything there is, since you won't let me back in the hole. I liked the hole. Can you let me back in the hole? And can I put down the bucket? Please, I'm tired of carrying the bucket.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I liked
Yes,
the
I know
hole.
it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
No.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
That's...
Well,
That's real
I mean,
impressive.
There's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on.
Can
Let
I
me
go
do
in
a
the hole?
different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags
narrator,
are,
I
they won't
love you.
stand on their own.
Don't worry about
They
it.
would
I love
need
you
the
in this
structure
game.
and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game.
What do you think we've got,
Possibly
game?
work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. It's basically exactly what we got, but red. With music that makes me nervous.
This is the story of a...
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
But the balloons
Stanley
are here
decided
now!
to go to the meeting
The balloons
room.
are
Perhaps
here
he had
now!
simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't
Just
find a trace
shoved
of
the
his
balloons
co-workers.
in here! We've got the balloons now! The balloons honestly make this a lot more entertaining somehow. It's funny. I wish I could pop them.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Because I don't know where the bucket is. Also, I don't want the bucket. You know what? Fine, I will take your stinking bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I have a bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No. No, I'm not.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
Yes.
Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Me and my bucket just sitting here having a chat.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure.
Yep.
Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right, then walking to the lounge, then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
You know, usually when I'm here, you're sarcastic.
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home, here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Oh, slight subtitle error there.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge. Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
I wonder, if I hadn't picked up the bucket, would you be blaming me being here and not having the bucket? Anything else? Anything? No? Alright.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
Nah.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
It's really
Stanley did not
entertaining that I
question
did
why
just...
or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Nope. Honestly, I did this earlier in the stream. I'm just really seeing what changed because I have a bucket.
No, stop. Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true...
I guess
well,
that's why I would have a
goodness,
bucket here.
I think we have to do something
I
about
forgot
it.
about this.
This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game.
Or you could
if
let me
not
put down the
addressed quickly and
bucket.
properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Really?
Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
I'm
Simple
trying to
enough,
consider
right?
whether I
This
should get it
tell us
right or not.
everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
I'm really conflicted here. Yes, it's a bucket.
Incorrect.
What?
It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Game!
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Really? Really? Then how is it different from a bucket?
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Oh my flippin' muffin.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
It's a bucket truck. No, it's not.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I
No,
thought
it's
this was
not.
a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
That was worth getting it wrong. That was worth getting it wrong.
Is this a bucket?
Is this a trick question?
Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I don't know anymore.
Trick question. Both.
What?
Gotcha.
Both? Both? How is it both a bucket and not a bucket?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
What? 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 I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of
Yep.
course is not true. Unless, is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
You know what? Let's go for it. Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart.
You're the one who
I
gave
can't
it to
have
me.
that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone?
Everything
Why
is
did
a
everything
bucket.
disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
That was worth it. That was totally worth it.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Should I take the bucket? Should I not take the bucket?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
We're all just buckets here.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
It's a bucket!
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet.
It
That's
does.
what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
It is.
Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Really?
You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
Wow, I love
that your
this
life
broom
is
closet.
so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner?
You know,
Well,
that's
I've
probably
never-
true.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years.
Dude,
Let him have it.
narrator, you are a little bit obsessed. The broom closet ending has completely changed because
Okay,
I have a bucket.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things. All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Everything is
That way,
buckets.
if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
Everything is a
There really
bucket.
is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Everything is a bucket. Everything is a bucket. Everything.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
This is amazing. This is amazing. I love the broom closet. Going in the broom closet is never a bad choice. Okay, okay. There's never a bad time to go in the broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Hey, Suede. Love you. Music different with the bucket. Doesn't seem to be, not yet anyway. What? Did he just swear? Okay, no. Same music. The elevator that doesn't go anywhere. Alright, let's see if I can manage this.
Stepping in.
I lost the narrator. We lost the narrator. Quick, while he's stuck in the boss's office. Run. Run, Stanley. And Bucket. And now this door is open. You are now leaving. Escape pod bay, floor 760. Escape pod? It is weird to be without the narrator, but, you know, the narrator would never actually let us escape. You have to lose the narrator to escape. As long as someone is narrating your life choices, you can't actually have control of your own life. At lunch bay. Escape. Oh, it's just a really long hall. What? 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 What?
All of his co-workers were gone.
So wait, I don't
What
get
did
to
it
escape,
mean?
I just sent the
Stanley
bucket?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he
That's
couldn't
4,
find
there's a
trace
5th
of
one
his
to find still.
co-workers.
I want to play until I've hit all 5 buttons on that. Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, let's try to ditch the narrator again. There's no more bucket. We sent it out the escape pod. Trust the completionist instinct? Warehouse access plan. Produce 1 plank toilet, use ease of access past fence. Construct bridge to allow collection of shiny float. Retrieve Chris's remains from the warehouse floor. Construct a structurally sound bridge. Mission status. Places to search. Inside of a sequel existence, a private but smelly place for a person. Some kind of game, there must be a point to this. Wow. A larger with lots of boxes, stairs, lots of stairs, somewhere both red and blue, nearby a fireplace. Boss's office, okay. There will be a reward for finding them all lies. Who are you? I want to go home. What? Oh my god! How can you tell you spy one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures of them? This is great. Figlies are hard to find. Bulk was provided by employee 416. We can do it. But I'm getting tired. Thank you. Good luck in quotes. That's not reassuring. I will go on at least a little longer because I want to... I've never actually pressed all 5 buttons, but also, just... Okay. To whom it may concern, I managed to pick up sounds unusual to our regular office ambiances or local studio sources using an array of cardioid microphones, also known as a directional mic. Analysis of the recordings allowed me to triangulate the source of the strange noises. It shows that all is coming from a dark area behind a very warm place. And remembrance off a porcelain surface. Maybe we are the collectibles. Shut the frick up. Leave office before putting back on any new findings.
Oh no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Fine.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
The bucket escaped, and now so must I.
Stepping in.
Run! I have no idea how necessary speed is for this, but it feels like it's necessary. I wish I had a run button so I could do this faster. I saved the bucket. I'm not sure why. Now I've got to save myself. 754. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. Come on. We're almost there. One more floor. One more floor. Escape pod launch bay, where apparently I could not fit with a bucket at the same time. There it is. Escaped. That's it.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Replacement bucket?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
You know what? I will. I will actually go into the boss's office this time. The change in music now, because apparently my coworkers do exist. They're just trying to find those things.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any
This
hope,
is new.
any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour.
Really,
But when
Stanley?
at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, It had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yes, amazing.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines?
Oh,
Yes,
no.
I think I like that.
No.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
No. Alright. Are we actually going to do the ending proper this time? Probably.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place
Can I have the
hold?
fast forward
Stanley
button
thought to
now?
himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Do I have a choice?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals.
Dude,
reduced
we
to
live in the
images on a
information
screen.
age. This is a
And
normal
Stanley,
thing.
one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
Yeah, that sounds like the typical workforce.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it.
Dude, this
He
is a better
couldn't
job than
accept
most
it.
people
His
have,
own
honestly.
life in someone else's
Yes, it's
control.
boring,
Never.
but it seems to pay
It was
well.
unthinkable.
It's reliable.
Wasn't
It's
it?
not physically or
Was it
mentally
even possible?
strenuous.
Had he truly spent
And you
his
can spend your
entire
off time
life
doing crud you
utterly
actually care about.
blind to the world?
Doesn't say he can't listen to music while he does this crud.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Okay, we're just turning it off. And now we sit through credits. Whee! Please hurry up, narrator.
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Please hurry up, narrator.
Was it over?
Please, pretty please.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp?
Plot convenience.
What other mysteries did this strange building hold?
Plot
But as
convenience.
sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel.
You don't live in the real world.
Whatever
do you?
life he lives, it will be his. and that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yeah, this is the story the narrator
And
has been trying to
Stanley
tell.
Was happy.
And everything else is us going gleefully off the rails and going, nope, I'm having more fun over here. Achievement. Get your first achievement. Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. I wonder what the other achievements even are.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Suede, I love you. Would you like to actually come up or just keep pawing at my new chair? Just keep pawing at my new chair every time I stop petting you. Got it.
When Stanley came to a set of
No.
2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Well, I should have
Perhaps
brought
he
the
wanted to
bucket
stop
and
by
seen
the
what
employee
new
lounge
thing
first,
happened.
just to admire it.
It's kind of
The
interesting
lounge was
that it's
sublime,
just...
a work of art. What was it about? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I want to see, like...
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing
I mean, we
your
found
trust in
2
someone else
differences
is
just by
difficult,
carrying around
but
a
the fact
bucket,
is that the
which is
story
kind
has
of
been about
hilarious.
nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've...
What? Really?
Yep.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to
Yep.
you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show
No
you
buckets.
something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Alright, I was right. There was one here.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want
Yep.
to find out what lies at the end of this
Yep.
road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yep.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Absolutely.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
I would,
Perfect.
actually.
Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours.
There is an
why don't
achievement if you
give
play it for 4
of play
hours.
to make sure it's effective. Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
But the baby's annoying, and I'm not playing it for 4 hours.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
You're welcome.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game?
Just give me a
This
hole
leaves
to
a
jump in,
pain.
okay? That will make
see.
everything better.
We have here.
I mean, I've made it
Yes,
pretty clear I like
seems
jumping in
it'll work.
holes.
Let's give it a shot.
Hello.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
I was expecting
What's our
Minecraft.
backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's
Narrator,
venture outward and see
you...
what else is out there.
You're disturbed, narrator. I've never actually played this. Pretty sure I should know the name of it. But I've never actually played it, because every time I asked someone for a description or any sort of info about it, they said they couldn't tell me anything, I just had to experience it. And frankly, I need to know at least something about the game. I'm not just jumping into something completely blind and getting freaked out and horrified without knowing that's what I'm getting into.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
Hey!
You really wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
Alright, what is it? Sports?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind.
Rocket League.
Just a
Oh, I
nice
haven't
big
played
box
Rocket
for
League
you to
either.
run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I'm looking for a way to get lost.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yeah, I think surely we must.
Narrator
Okay,
does not
Stanley,
know.
Here's the ball. Have fun.
Ah!
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes! Oh goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Oh.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun?
I am enjoying
Is
this
a
more than
real
I have
video
any
game?
right to.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I am. I am structure. I'm your sense of purpose. Hold on. What are you doing?
I found a hole.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You
I
can't
found
do
a
it.
way
You know that. Stanley.
to get lost. I found a way to get lost. He said he would be impressed. Well, I've impressed him. I found it. I found it. "427. This is my Stanley is employee 427. What?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon.
The end is
Very
never the
soon.
end.
I can wait.
Can I keep exploring? No.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
451. I want an area 451.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was
No.
not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nope.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way.
You are?
I knew you'd find this
Whoa!
place eventually.
Oh! Oh!
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
I can't believe this is the thing.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
But I like my bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No. Why am I attached
Can
to
you
the
guess
bucket?
what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The Broom Closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and... The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential.
We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Okay. Welcome Stanley to heaven? All I wanted was to put in all 5 inputs. What happens if I push every button? There are so many buttons. Why am I doing this? How many buttons are there? So this is just what makes Stanley happy, huh? Button pressing. Okay, they must... Yeah, they turn back on. Achievement unlocked, you can't jump. right. Well, I did what I said I wanted to. So I guess that means I am done with the game for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow at 7. I'll be playing Pokemon Crystal Clear against my sister. Right now, have a great night.